Shall we start the session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome back, participants. Today's second session is about Android layouts and views. I feel so glad to introduce Dr. R. Devi Priya ma'am, Professor, Department of Information Technology at Pongo Engineering College, Perundurai, for the session. She has 2 years of industrial and 11 years of academic experience. Her area of specialization is data warehousing and data mining optimization techniques. She has notable consultant projects, which includes online website, Lucas Lightnings, goods deliver management system, Sri Devi Stores, attendance management system using Raspberry Pi at Vignesh Garments. She has organized 8 seminars and workshops, presented papers in 11 national conferences and 7 international conferences, and delivered about 40 guest lectures. Furthermore, her articles have been published in 34 international journals, and also she has published 4 books. Today, with much honor, I invite such an eminent person for this program. I request you to take up the session, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. It was supposed to be started earlier, but now it is good afternoon. So shall we start?
Okay, ma'am. Let us start.
Okay, ma'am. I'll share my presentation.
Okay, ma'am.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope in the previous session you have got a basic introduction about Android layouts, Android basic, how the tool looks like. Now we are going to see how different types of layouts and views can be created in Android Studio, and that too with Kotlin program. Actually, we can write 2 types of programs, right? Java program or Kotlin program. And now we are going to see how Kotlin program can be done and different layouts can be created, right? So first, before that, what is meant by a view? Normally from the word implies, it is a basic building block of user interface in Android. So how you want to see or how you want to view your objects. Suppose if you have a button, if you have a checkbox, text box, all those kind of things, how it has to be arranged in your particular layout. That is the view. And here views means commonly it refers to android.view.view class. So this, all the interfaces, all the inbuilt functions required for providing this view is stored in this class. Okay, since it is a object-oriented concept, we have this class. And it is a super class for all the GUI components. First, let me tell you what is the basic meaning and definition of view and layout, and then we'll see the hands-on. Okay. And it is a superclass for all the GUI components like text, image, button, video, your rating bar, all those kind of things. And this view class extends object class. Actually, there is a class hierarchy in any object-oriented programming language. And in this view class, it extends object class. And also it implements normally class to class extension. And when you are using interface, normally it will be implementing, right? If you extract a new class from an interface, it will be implementing. So this view class implements drawable.callback, key event.callback, and accessibility event source. These are the basic ideas. And what are the different types of views? Even though there are many views, these are the basic views that we have in our Android Studio. First, text view, it represents the plain text. Okay, next image view, you can view an image. And list view, suppose if you are in HTML itself, you can create lists like ordered list, non-ordered list, that is unordered list, or bulletins, all those kind of things. Here also you can have hierarchy or nested lists. Next, scroll view, card view, grid view, and other types of views like view, video, web, progress bar, search, calendar. So we'll see one by one in the demonstration. And when you want to create a view, first I'm saying how to create a simple text view. Okay, the steps to create text view, or you have to add a text view in activity_main.xml file inside your linear layout, or it can be in constraint layout. So I'll tell you all those things. Let us open the Android Studio. So if you have already installed Android Studio, just open this. And when you are opening Android Studio, it will ask you for creating a new project or opening an existing project. For the first time, if you are creating, create new project, or already if you have created, just click this. So I'm creating a new project. So create new project. And this is the tab that you will get. And here you have to choose empty activity. Okay. And the first step, you have to give a name for your application. I hope this is already covered in your previous session, but just I'll create a new thing. So I'm creating sample 1. Okay. And here you have to choose the language as Kotlin. By default here, I have already set, so it is Kotlin. If it is Java, you just change it to Kotlin program. And next, click finish. Now this kind of page will be opened where you have already created a new project, and this is the page where you have this project. And when you are starting for the first time, it will take some time. This Gradle project sync in progress. So after this is being started, you have these 2 files, right? Activity main.xml and main activity dot. This Kotlin program will have the extension .kt. So when you are starting for the first time, by default, this screen will open, right? And here you have 3 types of tabs: code, split, and design. Now we are in the design phase. So where you can place your buttons. And this is your code phase where the XML code, that means your, if it is an XML code, this will be written. And the Kotlin program, your class definition and package, all those stuff will be there. So and split means you will have all those things. And if you want to have the size, then you can rearrange. If you want to just have the design phase, have the design phase. Okay. And here you have different types of layouts and also different types of buttons. We can add these buttons one by one, and we'll see how it works. Before that, so the basic step in creating not only text view, it can be for any view. You have to add the text view or image view or any view. See here, you can add view, right? So this, if this is the palette which shows all types of layouts and also the buttons. So basic button is, the basic tab is text. So when you have text box, this text box itself is divided into different types of text. You can have a text view, plain text, password. If it is a password, you can place that password button. And password, if it is a numeric value, you can choose this option: email, phone number, postal address, multi-line text. So there are different types of inbuilt formats already available. If you want to have specifically any of this, you can have. Else you can have just a multi-line text or text view. Okay, I'm just adding a plain text. By default, it will be opened like this. Actually, you have different types of layouts, and this is opened in constraint layout. See, these are the layouts: constraint layout, linear layout, and in linear layout, you have horizontal and vertical layout. Then frame layout and table layout, where you can place your components in the form of tables, and inside the table you can create so many table rows, right? So first we will see all those things. Before that, we will have the different types of this. we have to add the text view in this activity main.xml. You can directly place the button in your design phase, or you can write code in your XML file. And you can add the attributes like text, text color, all those properties. Normally, you'll have in any UI designing programming language, right? So from your Visual Basic or VC++, PHP, all those things, you will have the options to set the properties. Here also, you can set all the properties from code and also from your design properties tab. You can do it in any place. And then you have to open your main activity.kotlin file. And if you want to have on-click event, then you can add this on-click listener. Now, in this session, since we have only limited time, we are not going to see how to create code for this. But when you add buttons in the tab, automatically the code will be generated at the backend. And these are the different types of layouts. First, constraint layout, where we can add constraints on horizontal and vertical positions. See, so how this position, for example, I'm having this button. By default, when you open, this button will be created. And if you want to delete, you can delete and also create your own button. I think it's visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am, visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Okay. So this kind of buttons can be placed, and this is vertical positioning, and this one is horizontal positioning. Suppose if I want to place this button in this position, automatically the number of pixels or number of the point from your top of the page to your button can be set. And also this horizontal positioning. See, all those things can be set here, and here at the right side, you can have the all those options for setting the properties. Here by default, even though it appears here, if you're not setting this size, that means if you're not setting this position, it will be, when you're creating an object, it will be, that means if you're showing it in an emulator, it will be only at the top of the page. If you want to exactly fix the position, you have to set the position here. Top margin, suppose if I am fixing 50 and left, see how this is 50. And here I am setting it as 100. Likewise, you can set the position. Only for constraint layout, this can be set, and you can add many constraints for a given object or any button. Okay, so 50, or I am creating 50. So it will be set like this. Okay, and at any time you can convert one layout into another layout. For that, you can just right click on this tab, and you can see this constraint and convert view option. Convert view option to, you can choose the option to choose. Okay, you can choose the layout. And the next one is linear layout. A view group that aligns all children in a single direction, either vertically or horizontally. Here you cannot have the constraints. This top position, this position cannot be had, but you can add either all the objects. Suppose if you add all the objects, suppose I am adding another button. So I can just place these things. And if you are choosing this thing, either you have to choose this and drag and drop the button, or you can just press the button and click enter. You can do it in any way. Or if you want to create in code also, you can create. You can just go to this, and when I have added this text button, automatically this text view is being added, right? So edit view, all these things are added. If you want to create your button here also, you can write the code. This is also another way. And here you can, if you want to align all those things and properties, you can set the background color or foreground color of all those things. And here drawable, there are many options. You can choose any option for your box, and you can resize your button also. You can resize your button, and if you want to change the text, can have password, but it will not be visible. It will be visible only as a dotted character. If it is a normal text, it will display as it is. Okay, and here I have hello world. I am changing to and before running all these things, you have to set the device. If that is already told in the previous session, no problem. If that is not told, you have to set this device. That means you have to set the emulator. You have to create a virtual device. If you want to see the device, that means a phone-like layout. If you want to see how it looks in a phone, you have to set the device, create virtual device here. I have already set this device, and if you want to set, you can set. I have already set, and I'm just running this application. When you are opening project for the first time and starting, it will take some time. See, I have already created some projects, so that is being displayed. See now, so you can browse all those things in your device. See, this is how it looks like. So this screen, the new screen, the update will be visible in your phone only after this Gradle is finished, Gradle build finished. So till this time, it was being constructed, so it takes time, and it already loaded the previous project. Okay, so this sample one is my project name. So whenever you have your project created, this project name will be at the top, and this, see here, even though we are having the password button here, it is displayed at the top. And the Kotlin program, we have this text box, we have already set the horizontal and vertical positions. So it is perfectly positioned, but the password we have not set, so it is displayed here. We can rearrange all those things. You can either go and align in the code, or you can set add constraint here also. Okay, and if you are going to align one item, that means one component with another component, then that is called as relative layout. That means for this text box, how much position it should have in between. That means what is the number of positions, how many positions should be vertically aligned and horizontal alignment. So all those positions can be set. And next, table layout. Linear layout means you can either set all horizontally or vertically. That we will see one by one. Okay, just I have shown you how to create objects. And next, table layout. It is to create tables. So normally, if you have many components, if you have buttons like this, and I'm having buttons. See, I am adding button, one more button. But if you create all those things, and after running this, you have to stop this app and again start. Only then your new changes will be visible. So grade build is running. See, the buttons are all positioned here. Even though in the design page we have placed it here, it is positioned here. So you have to align it to the right position, and you can add constraints. Suppose if you want to add the positioning, you can just click like this. So how it should be aligned. So all those customization you can do by yourself. You can just explore those things. Next, table layout. Table layout means it can be all objects. If you have many buttons, if you have 4 to 5 buttons, and if you have a text box, if you have an image box, all those can be arranged in the form of tables. That means in each row, you can add elements, so that you don't have the unnecessary burden of arranging moving left and right. So automatically, whenever you have a button, or if you have an image or whatever it may be, it will be rightly placed in that particular cell. Okay. And next, you have frame layout. It's a placeholder on screen that you can use to display a single view. Suppose if you have created an image view only, you can use this frame layout. That means for the entire screen, you can have only one view. Even if you have multiple views, it will be visible, but it is always recommended to have only one view in the frame layout. And absolute layout means you can specify the exact location of its children. So actually, so this is parent. Normally, whenever you are creating the objects, you can give this attributes. Normally, by default, it will be set. If you want to change, you can say this layout with match parent. So automatically, the layout of your items, that means your components will be matched to the parent. If you give wrap content, it will be, see, the content is only up to here. So it will be minimized. This layout will be minimized. But if you give match parent, so the entire screen will be visible and your components will be visible as it is. Okay. And this is how the constraint layout. Suppose if you have the objects like this, so all these constraints can be set. That means horizontal positioning, top, bottom, and that means the positioning from one object to another object. So here also, if this is a norm, the first one, this image shows a normal constraint layout, and this is relative constraint layout where you are trying to position the component C with relative to the position of component A. So likewise also you can do. Next, other types of layouts, as we have seen, so linear layout means you can just specify all the objects position either horizontally or vertically. Here it is horizontal, it's a vertical linear layout. Here both objects are arranged in horizontal and also linear layouts. Relative layouts means with reference to another objects, and grid means all the components can be arranged as though it is arranged in your tables, and scroll view. And this is another important view, list view. Suppose if you want to have the items one by one listed, so you can have, and in this list item, you can either have text view and also image. That means your normal text, item 1, item 2, item 3. For example, if you're listing the departments in your college, so computer science, IT, mechanical, ECE, likewise, all those text can be given, and also the images can also be given. And if you have nested list also, that is given, that can also be given with the font size decreased. And it can be, it can all be arranged horizontally or vertically. Normally, it will be arranged vertically like this. And your screen looks like this, item 1, item 2, item 3 like this. And you can place radio buttons, as we know, but for creating radio buttons, you have to create a radio button group, and then you have to place all the radio buttons that we will see demo now. And next, this is your grid view. Grid view means, grid normally refers to tables, right? So all your items or text can be displayed in the form of tables. And this panel, this diagram shows how all views are integrated in a single page. So this is text view where we can type our text and we can edit text. Suppose if we have the option to edit, you can also edit your text. And checkbox view. So in this panel, all the boxes are almost given. So your checkbox can be given here, and radio button and your image button. Image view means it will display you the image. Image button means instead of normally having the plain button, you can have image as a button. So that also you can have, and when you click that button, you can set the properties. That means what should happen when the on-click event is being given on this image button. And next, this image view just displays the plain image. And your button, that means your submit button or login button, you can create button and have your on-click event.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, which layout we should use for such kind of arrangement of all these views and resources?
Sorry, ma'am. Can you please repeat, ma'am?
Ma'am, the image which you have been showing here, which layout we should use out of the layouts you told before? Which one we should use for such an arrangement of all the controls, views?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, I got it. Okay. So normally you can have constraint layout. So constraint layout, that means you can place different buttons and set the positioning. So top position, left, right, bottom. So all those positions you can have. But if your components are just need to be arranged in your just a table format, that means all the items like this from top to bottom, then you can go for linear layout or some other kind of layout. Normally, by default, when the project is opened, it will be opened in constraint layout. And that will be better, ma'am. For most of the cases, that will be better.
Okay.
Madam,
Yes, sir?
in Java, actually, we can combine multiple layouts also, correct? We can
Yes,
have
sir.
one layout, in that we can add another layout.
Yes, sir. Here also we can have.
So means the design which you have shown, I can combine multiple layouts and I can make that design, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Have it.
Okay, fine. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
We
you.
can have all these things in here itself. So here
I mean-
itself, or you can have in your code, you can, by default, it is constraint layout. Here you can open another tab and you can create your layouts.
No, I was just want to ask that, can we combine multiple layouts, means one layout inside another layout?
Yes, sir, we can have.
Okay, fine. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just show you how to create buttons from this. So I will just delete all those things and I will start from the fresh. So I'm just adding a plain text. And this is the page that I have created for sample yesterday. So just enter your name. Suppose if you want to create a login page, you want to create your name, you want to enter your name, password, and then login button, you can just create the screen like this. So name, next for password, if you want to have password normally displayed, you can have, otherwise you can add the password button itself and then submit button. In this button, you just click this button. Just drag and drop. And since it's a constraint layout, you can specify the positions. See, from so it is set like this, and for this object, I'm just setting the random positions. You can have your clear positions. Only in the constraint layout, you will have the options to add constraints like this, and you can add many constraints. That means if you want to position this item with respect to this, you can add one constraint. And if you want to position this button with this button also, you can adjust. And whenever you are adding this size, it will be normally displayed here. See, this kind of pattern now I have, and when I click the button, I have not given any option. That means on-click event is not specified, so it's just working. So now I think you have all understood how to position these objects, right? And now I'm going to see how the image can be added. Okay, so, and for including this image, go to the widgets and give image view. Normally, whenever you are giving an image, it will be asking for loading the image. You can add the image like this, or if you have some image which is located in your system, you can add. But before adding that image, you have to do a simple process. That means you have to just copy your image. I have an image here. That image have to be I have to copy the image and place it in our Android Studio. Only then you can have. So for that, copy that image and go to this result RES, and inside that you have a drawable option, and just click on this drawable and paste. So it will ask you for this location directory structure. Just give OK. And now you can give a name. Even though the image name is different in your location, you can give a name here. I am just giving Deepam. And see here, this Deepam.image is now being loaded. That means to use image in your Android Studio, you have to copy and upload that image in your project folder. Okay, so now we have done this and it is ready for uploading. And we have created image, so just place on this image and see, you have this image here. Select this image and if you have not specified any position, by default it will be displayed at the top. If you want to have the position, you can align. See, the new image is being shown here. So that means the only thing that you have to do is you have to copy and paste your image in this project folder. That means this app RES folder, drawable folder. RES, inside that you have drawable. Okay, so then you can directly choose the image. That is the one thing. Next, if I want to display a calendar, so I can calendar, or you have the option to include video also. Okay, so just I am displaying a calendar. I am just placing the calendar here. Okay, or I'll just show you how the calendar looks like. Even though we have given here, it will be displayed at the top. So unless you specify the constraint. See, this is the calendar is being displayed. So this is only using this kind of views, calendar can be shown in our Android phone. Suppose if you are opening calendar in our mobile Android phone, so it will be only using this feature. And for doing any project, if you want to include calendar, you have to use only this view. That means this is the only option. See, this kind of calendars, all these things can be given. And if you want to delete, you can delete. And I'm showing you how to create other bars. Similarly, you can create all these bars. Suppose if you want to add a rating bar, just click a rating bar. And I have not specified the constraint here. I'm just showing you how it looks like. You can specify the horizontal and also vertical constraints. Okay, it's up to you. I leave it to your exploration. And you can specify the color or whatever it may be. So you want to do. All the properties are given here. You can specify your customization. See, this rating bar is shown here. And if you just click on this 1 star, it will choose only one. So if I click on the left part, only half point, that means it means 0.5 is given. If I click on the middle part or here, it will be, see, you can specify completely, or you can reduce the rating also. And if I click on the middle of the star, it will be completely chosen. You can choose the properties here. This is how your rating bar look like, and you can have the progress bar. That means progressing, no? So that bar, search view. Search view means, suppose if you want to have a search view, search button, and there are so many options. You can choose anything that you want to have. And now we will see how to add a checkbox and a radio button. Okay. I'm just deleting this. And to include the checkbox, click on this checkbox and place it in your position. Unless you position, it will be displayed at the top. 44. I'm just randomly giving position. You can fix. And you can choose what to display in the checkbox. And if you want to change the background color of this box also, you can have. In Drawable, you have the basic templates. If you want to just have plain color, you can go on this and you can choose your own color. Suppose if I have two kinds of account, a bank account, for example, savings account. Current account, it will be chosen like this, and this color can also be changed. Background color, foreground text color, everything that we normally do. I'll just show you foreground color also. See how it looks like, this savings button, and foreground color, since I have changed that thing, it is not visible. You can specify. So whatever thing that you wish to do, you can customize. You can have any number of checkboxes. And if you want to add radio button, normally in radio button, you have the option to choose only one choice. In checkbox, you can have multiple choices. So it's okay to have the checkboxes independently, but whereas in radio button, you can choose only one thing. So what you can do is you can create this thing in your code. That means you can create a radio group. See, whenever I have created the thing, so button is created, checkbox, everything, the program is already being created. So if I want to create a radio group, the simple process is you can just drag and drop this radio group here. First, place the radio group. So now this radio group, and inside that you are now going to create buttons. So radio button. If you want to have one more radio button, you can have. Likewise, you can have any number of radio buttons. And if you want to delete some of the things also, you can delete. And now you can position. you can specify the positions, horizontal and vertical positions of this button. Otherwise, it will be displayed at the top. Okay, and for this also, I am choosing. Okay, withdraw. Or deposit. See, the button is displayed at the top and you can choose anything. And you can have the option of toggle button also. So toggle button means it will be, I'll show you how. And if you place here, it will be placed under inside this, or otherwise, if you want to have this toggle button, see this toggle button is placed here. And I'm setting the horizontal position. See, if I click, this will be toggled on and off. And if you want to change the color, that means if it is in off position, you should you need that in gray color. If it is in on, you need that in green color. That also you can set, and all those things can be set here. So you have so many options you can set here, or you can do it in the code. Okay, so these are the basic things that you can have. And buttons also, we have seen so many options, and layouts. And in frame layout, normally we have already seen that in frame layout, it is preferable to choose only one view. That means if you have an image, you can have in that frame view. If you have a video, you can just completely have only one view, and it will take if you give multiple views also, but it is not preferable. Okay. And we have seen so many options, right? And whatever may be the layout that you're choosing, these are the common properties that are available. So Android ID, for every object that you are creating, ID will be created, and which uniquely identifies the view. For example, if you want to view the ID of your image that you have created, see, this is the image ID that is automatically created. It normally starts with @ symbol plus ID/image view. And next you have this ID checkbox. This name is automatically created. See, if you have, and you can, if you want to change that also, you can change. You can change here, or you can change in the design also. So here you will be having that option of ID. Okay, so this ID name can also be given, but it should be unique. And next, layout width and height of the layout. Suppose if you want to have this layout, complete layout width and height can be given, and margin top, margin bottom, margin left, margin right. Suppose if your font size is like this and your layout needs to be only up to this, that means only half of the screen you have to include your layout, you can specify. And either your entire layout should be presented at the top, or at the middle, or at the bottom, or left or right. So all those 4 positions, top, bottom, left and right positions, you can specify. Okay, and layout gravity. So layout gravity means how child views are positioned. That means inside one view you are having another view, means how these views are to be positioned. That can also be given. And layout weight, how much of the extra space in the layout should be allocated to the view. Suppose if you are having view and if your image size is going to be altered, that means it is dynamic. Some images that you are going to load will be in small size, and some images will be of large size. You can choose this weight, layout weight. And layout X coordinate and Y coordinate of the layout width. Sorry, this is already given. Left padding and right padding. Normally you'll give padding, no? So that left padding and right padding and padding at the top, bottom. That means how you have to arrange your item in the particular table or the entire layout. Okay, these are the basic properties, and you have the extra properties which you can explore. And normally, whenever you have these two options, sir.
Ma'am, what is the difference between that layout underscore gravity and with the layout underscore left, top, bottom margin?
Sir?
Suppose there are
So this one, sir.
there are properties.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
that one.
Okay, sir. So this layout.
That means how gravity differs from the margin layout.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So this layout width and height means the entire width and height of your layout. Even though if your phone is 10 centimeter height and 5 centimeter width, but you need your items to be displayed only up to this point. That means 5 centimeter height and 5 centimeter width. So that can be given. That means in your phone size, how your layout, that means how your items should be arranged. For example, this is the entire phone, right? So, but my layout has to be fixed only here. That width can be specified. That is the first thing. Next, a layout margin top, margin bottom, margin left, right means inside the layout, the items have to be started by leaving 5 points, 10 points from the top. Next, from the left, from the right, from the bottom. So likewise, within the layout that we have chosen, where the items or components should be started. I hope you got the difference, sir.
Ma'am, exactly I'm not getting.
Okay, sir. So I'll just I'll just explain it clearly. This layout width and height means it is respect to the phone size that you are choosing. How exactly your layout should be positioned in your phone. And this one means inside your layout where your objects should be started. So how much extra space should be left on your right side, top side, bottom side, and all those things. Got it, sir? This is with respect to the phone's phone size and width, and this is within the layout.
Okay, so where I'm confused is what is the difference between that within layout properties like margin, top, bottom, left, right, and layout underscore gravity?
Okay, so now you got it, sir?
No, I am not able to differentiate the in between these two, margin and underscore gravity.
Okay, sir. If if you are having the Word document, so we will be having that view, ruler, and all those things, no, sir. So this is how we'll start the top and the bottom, right? So we can specify the top margin and also the bottom margin, left margin, right margin. So normally we will set, no, sir. I think this word screen is visible.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Similarly, we can set the margin for all the 4 positions.
Right.
Okay, sir. Whereas, suppose if this is your layout, consider this is your layout.
Okay.
Now you are going to place your layout in your entire phone. So this may be, consider this is your entire phone. So the entire gray size is your phone, and within that phone layout, this is your layout that is actually being created. That means this is your entire phone screen. Gray color is your phone screen, and within that gray color, your layout is here. And inside the layout, how much position you have to fix at the top, bottom. Okay. Next, gravity means you can create multiple child views, sir, parent view and child view. That means within one object, you can create another object. That means within a text box or multi-line text, within a frame that you are creating, you can include some other view. And if you have one view inside another view, how to position that child view that is being given in the next attribute. And I think, see, this foreground gravity you can have, sir. This is the property center vertical start. Sorry.
Right. So
I hope you
I'm
got
just,
this.
yeah, so I'm just confused that can we achieve the same thing using layout bottom and layout top?
Yes, sir.
Or
You can. Yes, sir. You can choose that option, or if you want to specifically move some positions, minute position specifications, you can give here.
okay, okay,
So see this
okay,
layout, height, width, and all is being set here. Layout width means normally it will be match parent. Match parent
right.
means. So I think I have already shown you here.
The parent element,
Yes, sir. Match parent means your layout will be completely matched with the parent. If you give wrap content, your sorry. See, the size is automatically reduced.
right?
Okay.
Yes, yes. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
And this is okay, sir. So this is shown here. Match parent means entire screen. That means for your entire phone screen, the image will be displayed. The image or whatever maybe the component will be displayed. Wrap component means it's like your wrap text in your Word or something. Okay, so depending on your text size or your input size, the box will be changed. And next, this is the sample screen that I have taken. Okay, and when I run this, I get this. See, I have positioned all the objects and I got the login page like this. And I want to show you one more thing. Table layout. That is very important. That means when you want to position, if you're confused or if you're tired of positioning, setting positions of all these objects, you can just add tables. So for adding the tables, I'm just deleting all those things and I'll show you how to add those table layout. Okay, so just click on this table layout and you can place here. And inside the table, now the table layout is created and you want to add table rows. So first add one row. So I have long pressed, so 5 rows are automatically created. If you want to delete, you can delete. And whenever you are doing this, you can convert the views. See, convert view, and you have the option to convert to motion layout also. This is normally done only when you are using constraint layout. And if you have added so many constraints and if you want to clear the constraints, that means you want to remove constraints, you can choose clear constraints of that particular selection. That means if you have a text box and that constraint has to be removed, means choose the text box and click on the clear constraints of that selection and you can organize. You can either expand horizontally or vertically, center alignment, this center alignment, all those things can also be done. And if you want to convert, you can have a convert view and okay. So now we will go to table layout and inside the table row, I'm just after including how many table rows you need. So if you want this table within this table, okay, that means if you want this table row within this table, you can have like this or you can just move. You can create table row to the position. So you can adjust your positions. Okay, so I'll just add on inside this table row. Okay, I have created in radio group, sorry. Just I am starting fresh. See, that will be displayed here and you can fix the size. And you can add the button. Suppose if I want to add buttons, you can just choose the button that you want to have and specify the table, in which table row you want to add the buttons. Next, I want to add one more button here. In the next row means that will be added. Suppose if you want to add one more button in the second column of the first row, you can add button here. See, and if you want to add one more image button, that means you can add any type of image button, means it asks for image. So let us add a button so it will be looking nice. You can directly place here or you can place here also. And you can adjust the height. You can adjust the height, weight, everything here. And one more thing, there is a transformation. That means you can transform your buttons. Suppose if you want to have in a rotated 3D view. So like this also you can rotate. X direction, Y direction. See, the button is rotated like this. So likewise also it can be created. For now I am just deleting all those things, and normally this will be in linear layout. Okay, so when you are using table, you are just linearly arranging the item. So by default it will be linear layout, and if you want to convert that into constraint layout also you can do. So convert table row to constraint layout. So normally for all the layouts it will be having the option to change the layout. If you wish, you can change. Okay, but by default, the suitable layout will be chosen by your Android Studio. I am just deleting this particular row and we are running. See, the buttons are displayed like this.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you once repeat how did you adjust row height or width under this table row?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
So this is your table row, right? So this table row, here you have the attributes. So ID, if you want, you can choose, and this layout, weight, height, this scroll bar height. Suppose if you want to have that scroll bar, or that means if you have so many objects also you can have, and minimum height, minimum width. And this elevation also you can set, ma'am. So this 2dp, so how it should be visible. So this inside, depending on the size of your button, this all these things, bottom, left, right. So here you can set. This means top and bottom you can have 6 dp. So this dp position you can set, and depending on your objects that you are placing inside your text book, that means inside your table row, the table row width will be automatically set, because for every object that you are having, it may be in different size. So we can, instead of fixing the entire table row size, it normally is dynamic depending on the objects that you are adding in every table row. For example, if it is a button, you can fix the size here. And if you're next, if you're adding another toggle button, it will be little bit lesser. So you can adjust size, and for this you are setting minimum height is this, minimum width is this, and if you adjust this, automatically the entire size will be changed.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Any other doubt, ma'am? And normally you can choose this wrap content. If you choose this wrap content, automatically whatever may be the size, it will be automatically adjusted.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So that's the best option. And if you want to give match parent, see the difference. It is obviously the entire screen, the layout is presented for the entire screen. So it is by default, both are the same. And now if you want to change this rotation, no? So we have done the rotation. So this is being displayed here. And scale means it represents, so the size. So again, this size should be increased. And on click event we have not covered since we have only limited time. That means when you click on this button, what should happen? So we have to write code. Okay, so that can be given, and in the elevation, so all those properties, background properties, there are so many properties. You can explore one by one. This icon padding normally size and this icon size. So normally this is the place where you can set the size, height, width, bottom. That means left, right, top, bottom. So all those things can be given. And I'll just show you how the password button looks like. I have not shown you how password looks like. Okay, so we will just run this. Okay, so these are the buttons and password. Since I have not given any positioning, it is displaying at the top. See here. So whatever may be the number I'm typing, it is just typed as a password. Okay. So and for that you can have this clear box, and if you want to delete all those things also, you can delete, and you can type your password and click tick here. So for that you can give on click events. And one more thing I want to tell you, ma'am, have the creation of virtual device part is already covered, or is it not covered, ma'am?
Ma'am, not yet covered, ma'am.
Not yet covered. Okay. So that takes a long time, but I'll just show you how to add the basic steps. I'll show you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so because only if you set that virtual device, the screen will be, this is your virtual device now. So if you can set the virtual device, no problem, that display will be shown here. If you have not set that means if there are some problems in setting the virtual device, you can connect to your phone. Normally we all having Android phone, no? So you can connect that Android phone to your USB drive port, and you can see all the things that are being created in your layout page here. Okay, so for that you have to choose this AVD manager, because that is the first thing to be done while creating these layouts. Okay, so in this AVD manager, I have already created the virtual device. See here, this Pixel 2 API 30. So this is the virtual device that I have created and I am using, and that is what is being shown here. Okay, so I have already created, but just I'll show you how to create a simple device. Inside that means when you go inside your AVD manager, it will be blank initially. Okay, so you have to create virtual device, and in this virtual device page, there will be so many devices. That means so many model phones, and see Nexus 1, Nexus 2. So these are the basic models, but by default, it's always preferable to choose Pixel 2. That is a standard size. You can choose anything. Okay, or if you have any new specific hardware profile, you can import that hardware profile, or you can create new hardware profile. That means your new device or phone or tablet. And what is the screen size? If you have the specific screen size of your device, you can set that as a device. That means you can clearly view so how it actually looks in your phone. For example, if I'm having a Redmi MI phone, I want to exactly see how it looks in the MI phone. So you can include that device. Or if you have only the basic design phone, you can just, if you just want a virtual device, you can just create here. I'm using Pixel 2 and click on next. Okay. And here it will ask for different release names. And inside that there are different release names. You have to choose any of these things. The basic default thing is R. You can just click R. Since I have already downloaded and installed, it is not giving the download option here. But if you are doing for the first time, it will be download here also. So you have to download, and normally it will be around 500 MB. Okay, that means almost half GB it will take. So I think for R, it has taken 514 MB for me. Okay, so before starting, when I was installing for the first time, I did not have net package in my phone for the entire downloading, and so it was interrupted in the middle, and there were so many errors so that I could not correct. So, and again I installed in some other system with the correct downloading and installation package, then it worked fine. Why I'm saying this is, I have struggled a lot while installing this, so you should also not make this mistake. Okay, these are the takeaways, these are the small tips that you should consider, and you have to choose. Otherwise, if you are not choosing, it will say select an image, system image is required. See this, you can give a name for your thing, and you can choose the orientation. Suppose if you want it in the portrait form, you can choose, or you can choose it in the landscape. That means everything will be oriented and aligned towards the landscape orientation. This also you can choose, your choice. And after clicking finish, that will be done. And after this, the device will be displayed here. You can create many devices also. Suppose if I want to have a Motorola phone and MI phone and Apple phone, so many virtual devices can be created here, and that can be chosen. So see here, this I have created 2 devices. So, and you can select multiple devices also. And whatever you want to do in your AVD, you can do it in your AVD manager. And if you want to do from your Play Store also, here also you can have and launch this AVD in the emulator. So it is already running, so it is not doing. Okay, and sometimes when you are running, your emulator will not show your data. That means in your layout, in your Android layout page, it will be perfect, but it will not be, the updates will not be, for example, the updates that you are making here will not be reflected here. So for that, the common reasons will be, you have to wipe your data, because these are the things that I have struggled, and I have taken so much effort to find out why this error has happened. Okay, so the first thing that you can do is you can choose that device and wipe data. That means inside this AVD manager, that means if some already previous data is stored, that will also sometimes interrupt you in producing the new output. That means that will not leave way for the new output to be displayed. So you can just wipe data. Okay, so that is the one thing that I want to tell you. And whatever. And one more thing, while installing, you have to include all the necessary files in your SDK manager. SDK manager will contain your entire software development kit, and check that the proper version of all the things are installed. And one more thing I want to tell you, and while you're choosing the path for your Android SDK, don't leave any space, blank space in between your file location. See here, I have given C users free app data. That means suppose if I'm having space in between the file location names or folder names, it will create error. It will not only create error, here itself it will show you the warning that the file location name, the Android SDK location name should not contain blank spaces. So that error message will be, warning message will be shown. So be careful. These are the prerequisites. That means before installing this thing, you can choose the right folder. You can get ready with the right folder. And here you can have the SDK tools. Okay, and suppose if something is going wrong, you can go and check this thing. Check whether this Android emulator is checked. Okay, that option has to be chosen. Okay. And these are the other things. So here, if I have installed this thing, that will be shown as install, and otherwise no problem. And I think that's all. And this container also, we have different types of scroll views, this horizontal scroll views. This you can explore. I think we don't have enough time to see all those things, but you can explore all those items. Scroller means, scroll view means you can have how it can be scrolled, horizontal scroller, vertical scroller, how the scroller nested, so all those things. This bottom application bar, so toolbar, you can create toolbar for your application. So toolbar, and you can place your images, whatever may be the component that you have in your toolbar also, you can have this tab layout. So these are the basic things. And any doubt so far? And whenever you are doing something, ensure that it is properly saved before running your application. Okay, so just give save all, and if again sometimes if there is some error, give this sync project with Gradle files. Okay, so if some automatic synchronization is missing, you have to manually give this sync project with Gradle files. Okay, this can also be done. And if you want to open an already existing project, click open project and you can choose the project. So these are the projects that I have already created. This window, I have already created a window. See, admission and query I have created for sample. And if I'm running the screen, see, this is, can anybody say which layout is this? Which view is this? Can anybody say which layout is this? That means which view? Okay, it's just a table view. Okay, so in the first row, I have given 2 buttons, and in the next row, I have given the username text box where I can edit. I can edit that also. I want to give Devi, and the password also I can type. And I can choose the checkbox like here and click OK. So inside the table, I have given so many buttons, that means so many icons. Okay. And after this, one more thing, you have 2 files. Normally, by default, whenever you are opening the project, you have one XML file and also one KT file. This KT file is your basic Kotlin file where it is like your main function in Java. Okay, so normally in Java, you will have so many classes, but you will have one class for your main function, public static void main. No, similar to that, it will have like this. And in your activity main, you have all your this thing, and depending on the layout, your items will be displayed. If you want to just completely delete all these constraint layout and include a fresh linear layout, you can delete this code and create, you can write your code for linear layout also. Okay. And again, if you want to include some other XML files, you can include. Okay, for that you have to give file new XML file. Okay, so go to this XML. That means inside a single project, if you want to have multiple XMLs, where you have for one frame That means for one web page, this layout is okay. And for the next page, obviously you need some other layouts, right? That means after I click on the submit button, it will go to the next page where some other form is being loaded. So you can create another XML file, layout XML file. And you can give the name for your layout. For example, I am giving student. See, in this activity design layout, it is automatically there. And for this student XML file, so I can create some other layout. Okay. So somebody have already asked, no? So you can add buttons. So all those things you can add. And this can also be used. That means you can create multiple XML files in a single project. That is what I want to say. Okay. And one more thing, whenever you are installing Android, this Kotlin, ensure that this manifest folder, everything is proper. Okay. So otherwise there will be so many problems while running the programs. And this resource manager, you can choose the resource manager. This tab is used to show you what are the basic inbuilt facilities available. So drawable means by default these two backgrounds are available, and colors, layouts. I mean, these are the two layouts that we have now. Okay, that means what are the XML files that we have. So that will be displayed here. We map this string, navigation, animator. So this have not created, but what are the resources that are being used for this particular project will be displayed here. And also it will be displayed here. So the basic table, or that means the basic thing that we have chosen now, which we have selected. Okay, so which is under current selection. And refactor, normally when you want to rename some object, directly rename option is not available. So you can just give inside the refactor, you have rename. Normally for renaming the project also, see here, this rename option is not available here. So you have to open the refactor objects. So that means refactor, and then you can rename your file and all those things. Okay. And run app. And again, if you have not saved and if your changes are not reflecting, you just give run app. This is the basic run app. And here also after running, you can choose this run app, apply code changes. These are different options. And if you want to debug, you can debug, and you can include the breakpoints also. Okay. And again, one more thing, you can inspect code when you have some errors. This is a normal thing that we do in your any programming language, but here if you have missed something, you can just give inspect code. And these are the main things I want to tell you. And if there are any doubts, you can ask me.
Ma'am, there is some question in chat box. Could you please open that?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, have you used any other heavy software like CAD, MATLAB? Okay, for this thing, I have not used CAD, ma'am, but I have used MATLAB. So for doing my PhD before 8-9 years, so I have used MATLAB for implementing optimization algorithms and any image processing. So all this pattern recognition, I have used MATLAB for genetic algorithm, ACO, PSO implementation, ma'am. So that's what you want to ask, ma'am?
Madam, sorry, actually I just answered for Isha Chopra sir for the question regarding slowness of that system. Actually, sir have Windows 10 with 8 GB of RAM, 64-bit OS, but still facing a problem with the emulator, ma'am. That's why I just answered the question like that. Is there any heavyweight softwares in your laptop or not, like that?
Ma'am, there is a question at 1:10 p.m. from Isha Chopra. So
Okay.
that is the answer that Ranjit sir make.
Yeah, yes.
Ranjit sir.
Of
Okay, sir.
course. Actually, many of them are facing the same problem, and they have a well configured laptop, but for the emulation time, they are facing a lot of trouble. That means slow. Ma'am, can we try with BlueStack like emulators as an external tool, ma'am, for this emulation?
Yes, sir. You can try with any other emulator, sir. That means I think it's better to choose the inbuilt emulator that is available, sir.
Ma'am,
Okay.
what's the configuration you are using so that they can compare with their own configuration which they are having in their machine?
Oh, okay. Normally, like unlike other tools and programming languages, Android is a very complex framework structure where if any single thing is missing, your entire output will not be displayed. I have also faced so many problems while installing this Android Studio, and after installing also, everything in layout I can fix, but the emulator is a main problem. That is why I have consolidated almost all the problems and solutions I have given. The main thing is that you have to correctly choose the virtual device. Create virtual device option, no ma'am. So that virtual device have to be carefully given. So that is the main thing. And you can choose any device, and Pixel 2 is the common standard thing that is acceptable and compatible with almost all the system configuration. And one more thing, if there is some problem in emulator, you can go and check the Hyper-V option. In some laptops and some systems, that Hyper-V option should be chosen. I think I'll just show you. In settings, I think in system, I forgot, but I have done that thing. I think this is not in this particular configuration. I have used Dell Inspiron, but it was the problem was there in the HP laptop. So I first tried in my laptop HP, but that didn't work well. That means Android layout is working, but emulator was not working. So I have again installed all those things in Dell Inspiron, new model, new version, and it worked perfectly fine. No error, nothing. So it worked perfectly fine. And there is a main thing, Hyper-V option. Suppose if you in your laptop you have that option, just go and disable that Hyper-V. That should be one case, ma'am. And one more thing, even then your emulator is not working, go to BIOS. That means while restarting while starting your system, press F10 button and you will be entering into BIOS. And inside that BIOS option, you have to go to security, and inside that virtual device manager or something, that option will be there, and you have to disable that. That means these are the different ways to start debug your installation. So that means configuration. First, if your emulator is not working, ensure that the right virtual device is being created. If that is also not a problem, then you go and decheck. That means you have to uncheck that Hyper-V option in the settings control panel. Okay, so that means turn Windows option on and off. That option will be there. I don't know whether it is visible in this laptop. Windows, this turn Windows features and on or off option, and inside that you have Hyper-V option. This is not visible in this laptop, so no problem. But if you have that, just uncheck that. Okay, so that will also create problems sometimes. And if that is also not a problem, then you have to go and change that option in the BIOS. That means while starting your system, you have to uncheck that virtual device option.
Ma'am, that sir asks that he has 8 GB of RAM, whether it is enough to execute.
Yes, ma'am, that's okay, ma'am. I also have 8 GB RAM and that it works perfectly fine. And it depends on, sometimes it depends on your Android version that you are including. If it was previous version, sometimes it works. And if everything is new, it has to be compatible. That is the only thing that I have to check. And Isha Chopra ma'am said iCore 5 with 1.19 gigahertz. So I also have iCore 5 only. So that works for me.
Okay, ma'am.
And Piramu Mahalingam so I asked, and I think I have answered. If there is any doubt, I can repeat. If I forget how to add image file in Drawable, please repeat, ma'am. Okay, so Anjit have, even then you can, if you forget how to add image, you can just, okay, I'll just show you that project. So inside this RES folder, Drawable, this is another project. So I have, I don't have that image here. So go to this page where you have your thing, copy that image, just Control C, okay? Control C and click this Drawable and paste. So it will ask here and give paste, give a name for your image. So now it will be displayed, and while creating the image view, that means while creating your image view, this image will be displayed. You can have, okay. Any other doubt, ma'am? And for all different size of all control or arrange accordingly which layout we use, different size of mobile. This will also be not a problem. So depending on the virtual device that we are choosing, the layout structure, everything will be changed automatically. Any other doubt, ma'am?
Participants, if you're having any doubt.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am. Sorry, actually it's a nice presentation, ma'am. Ma'am, actually I have a question. Actually, nowadays we have a cloud-based app development like OutSystem and Oracle apps like things, ma'am. But I felt Android is a heavyweight, right, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Heavy one.
So, is there the right solution to move cloud-based app development, ma'am, like OutSystem? You know, a couple of minutes we just ready with our mobile app. Why should we go for this much? How do you compare that one, ma'am? That's why I'm asking. Hello, ma'am. Am I clear, ma'am?
1 second, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Actually, my question is nowadays cloud-based app development is very famous. But if I'm compared with the Android Studio and Android supported SDK, everything is a heavyweight, right, ma'am? I think it takes more time also. In a couple of minutes or maybe a 5 to 10 minutes, we just get ready with our mobile apps through OutSystem, like a mobile cloud environment. So
Yes,
how
sir.
do you look into that, ma'am? I need your suggestion.
Yes, sir. Actually, yes, sir. Actually, it's a hectic process, and there are so many frameworks and logics involved in that. That's a research area, sir. That's a good research area, and you can take up projects also in that area, sir. But you can do, but you have to put some effort, and there are so many advanced technologies and frameworks released every day, and you can use the suitable one, compatible one.
Sure.
Any other doubts? If no doubt, shall we close, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Friends, hope you enjoyed this session. Let us conclude. Okay, ma'am. Let us
Yes,
conclude.
ma'am. Very informative session. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So now I want to thank our resource person, Dr. R. Devi Priya ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Information Technology, Konga Engineering College, for her wonderful session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, next session will be from timings. What will be the timings?
Ma'am, let us start at 2 or as usual schedule. Let us start, ma'am. Is it is there is any problem in your side?
No problem, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Suppose if you are many of you felt it is that the session at 2 p.m. is problem, or if you want to go for lunch, then we can adjust. So that I ask. So
And at least ma'am, 2:20, 2:30 will be more better.
more better. Okay, ma'am. Let us start our next session at 2:30 p.m., ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
So participants, I will put your attendance sheet, which is made by us in WhatsApp group. So kindly go through it and check whether your we make it P as present for yesterday and day before yesterday. So kindly check it. Suppose if there is any problem or there is any mismatch in your attendance, so kindly notify us. We will make it because the portal is allow us only to put the 5 days attendance on the whole. It won't allow us to put day by day attendance like in the previous academic year Atal FDP sessions. So that it has asked only one time, and we can able to modify the attendance. The coordinators can able to modify the attendance only once for a participant. So that kindly ensure your attendance in that sheet. Thank you. So let us meet after or on 2:30. Okay. So have a great lunch.